Are you choosing a new pilot logbook app? Perhaps you're looking to switch providers, or start your first electronic pilot logbook. With so many providers out there, it can be confusing deciding who to choose. In this video, we'll see why AvionLog's free trial makes this an easier decision. And later in the video, I'm going to guide you through a live setup of AvionLog and show you some of the key features. Committing to a new logbook is a big deal. How do you know if it will fit your needs? Your new logbook app is worth your money, or the customer service is any good. Other logbook apps offer a free trial of just a few weeks, and then automatically roll the free trial over to a paid subscription, expecting you to remember if you don't want to subscribe. And then, if you do subscribe, make you pay extra for additional devices. AvionLog has an industry-leading free trial of 6 months or 350 flight hours, whichever you use more. Why 350 hours or 6 months? It's great for student pilots who should be able to complete all of their training while still on the free trial, and busy airline pilots who are perhaps flying 900 or 1,000 hours a year get to use the free trial for at least 6 months. And perhaps if you're a pilot that flies fewer hours, say a corporate pilot, you get to log plenty of flights to really get to know AvionLog, even if it takes you longer than 6 months to get to 350 hours. So what happens after your free trial? You'll be asked to upgrade if you choose, and we never automatically roll your free trial over to a paid subscription. We believe the choice is always yours. Alright, let's get started with a live run through, and we're going to see how easy it is to get set up, how to log your first flight, and some of the key features of AvionLog. When you first open AvionLog, you'll see the loading screen, and then it's going to take you to our free trial page. Here you can choose to start your free trial, which, like I said earlier in the video, is 6 months or 350 hours, whichever is more, or if you already have a free trial, lower down the screen, you can tap I already have an AvionLog trial or subscription. The reason for this is if you're using AvionLog on an additional device, say that you've got an iPhone and an iPad or a work device that you want it on as well, as long as your devices are on the same Apple App Store ID, then you can use AvionLog on as many devices as you want. So we'll tap on Start Free Trial. Because this is a testing device, I won't go through the login process, but normally you just use the Face ID or your fingerprint and you're in. Then you're brought to set up your backup connections. The backups for AvionLog are run through Dropbox and Box. Box is less well known, but it's another cloud storage provider just like Dropbox, and we recommend that you use both services so that you have two independent backups. Those backups are driven by you, and there are in-app reminders to remind you to back up your logbook regularly, and you can also set up push notifications. Because this device is already connected to both Dropbox and Box, we'll activate those and click Continue. And now you just need to set yourself up. You can enter as much detail as you like. The minimum we recommend is just your last name, but I'm going to put first name and last name in here. Just swipe down to clear the keyboard and enter the details, and we're in. As you can see, there's no flights in at the moment. AvionLog always opens onto the flights page. And to start logging your first flight, just tap the plus button in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and you can see that you have the slide-up window, and we can start logging. AvionLog has been designed to keep your flight logging as fast as possible. We understand you're really busy in the flight deck, and if you're logging on the go, we understand you want to spend as little time in the app as possible, so we've put some key features into the flight logging to make it as smooth and as fast as possible. We understand that if you're logging on the go, the less time you spend in the app, the better. The faster you can log your flights, the less stressful it is, the more time you have to focus on other things. So for example, let's say we're entering a new aircraft registration for the first time. Let's just call it Reg 123. And then we tap Add New Aircraft Registration. A pop-up screen arrives. You enter the aircraft type, let's say it's a Boeing 737-800. We could type B738, which is the ICAO code for it, and it's right there. Is it the 737-800 or the BBJ2? Or other ways we could search for it, we could type B737-800, and again it pops up. Just tap on it. If you want to add an organization, we could, so that you can track how many flights you do with a particular company. Again, tap that, another pop-up screen. You can enter the details, click done, and you're back in the flight page. Your registration and your type is in there. Let's say we want to go from JFK, we can type in JFK. The 3-letter IATA code is prioritized. If we type KJFK, the 4-letter ICAO code is prioritized. Or we could just search for, let's say, Kennedy. And there it is, the second one on the list. Tap it, and we're in. Let's say we're going down to Miami, type in MIA, we're in. Let's say we're the PIC, and we could say the SIC is just Jones. You can see how fast it is to add a person, first name, last name, tap the person, it's pre-filled. As simple as that. And we could link them to this organization we've just created. Click done, and they're in. Now we can say that we're pilot flying, perhaps. I'll just put in some random times here. Notice that the day takeoff has been entered, the day landing, because we told the app that we were pilot flying. And the times are in. And it's calculated there is 0 night time on this flight. And that's complete. And we click done. A couple of other things this app can do. Let's say this was flight number, whatever, 2487. You can put pretty much anything in there you want. Next time we start a flight, if we do another flight with the same flight number, 2487, click next, it recognizes that's been flown. You can say yes, and notice the from and to airport have been filled. If you want to delete the flight, just swipe left, delete, and it's gone. To help with the efficiency of the flight logging, AvionLog is also fully customizable. Some parts of the world fly with a different flight call sign to the flight number, and you notice when you first open the app it has flight number and flight call sign. Let's say we're not interested in logging the flight call sign. We can just go to Settings, Display, Flight Editing Fields and Orders, and this is everything that you can log in the app. And there's everything from go-arounds, Cat3s, launches, bolsters, touch and goes, whatever you want. But we're not interested in the flight call sign. We can just switch it off. When we go back to the flight, notice it's gone. Let's say we want to actually log the aircraft registration and the aircraft type before the flight number. We just tap and hold the 3 horizontal lines on the right hand side, drag that entry field above flight number, and now when we go back into the flight, you can see that aircraft registration and type are now the first things that you log. So it really is truly customizable. There's a few other things we won't go through in this video, but under duties is where you can log your simulator times and any ground duties, positioning, non-flying airport reserves. Under reports is where you can see your flights, and if we tap on that, this gives us a whole rundown. And we can also see a map of all of your flights or just any flights that you decide to filter. You can see a globe view of that. And if we go back into reports, tapping the plus sign at the top right hand side, you can actually make your paper and PDF logbooks and reports. You can create FAA and EASA reports, which are all preloaded, or you can make just about any report that you would want to make. You can set targets, rolling reports, recency reports, say 3 takeoffs and landings in 90 days, or just about any standard report you can think of by adding any criteria. So anything that you've already logged, so aircraft type, engine count, you want to know how much multi-engine time you have, how much multi-pilot time. That's really very capable. Data is your database, so we can see the aircraft that we've used, Boeing 737-800, aircraft registrations, airports that you've logged, things like that. And settings is really, really powerful. So we can customize the name format. We could show ourselves as self. So when we go back into the flight, notice that the PIC field now says self. We can change the time format to decimals or hours and minutes, change our date format. And when you change the format in here, it also changes the format of how it will come out in the PDF logbooks. and we can set up some duty time stuff in here. We can also change the theme. We can have it automatically switch to a dark theme in low light conditions, and we can adjust the threshold of when that will happen. So as you can see, I've adjusted the threshold there. It's not light enough here for that to come back to a light theme. We can reselect standard, or there's also a light theme. There's a theme too as well. You can play around with that. And then there's the backup. And backup is very easy. We've got the Dropbox and the box already connected. You notice there's the red backup in the bottom right hand side. It's telling us that we haven't backed up within a week. We can just tap backup now. And that's a real-time backup done. We can import from other providers or from AIMS. If we don't have your import option available, please do let us know, and we are working on a new system to import via our website, which will be really great to have. And we can choose the favorites, and you can see the different types of imports there. We have a live sync capability, so we can set live sync on. Just log in on all of the devices that you want to synchronize, and your logbook will automatically be synced between them whenever you're online. And if one device goes online, it will synchronize. When another device goes online, it will fetch that data. And remember, it's free to use AvionLog on as many devices as you want during your free trial. When your free trial's over, there's no extra price to add additional devices. We've got an FAQ section built into the app, and it also does check on the website to see if there's any changes there, and a few other things that you can go through. And there's a feedback option here, and this is really useful. It comes straight to an email address monitored by several people, so you should get a fast response. So if there's any help that you ever need, just tap on that and let us know. Thanks for watching, and check us out at avionlog.com, or if you have any further questions, email us at info@avionlog.com, and you can find us on the Apple App Store. Just search Pilot Logbook or look for AvionLog. We'll see you in the next video.